Tam Talks explores life, spirituality, and general weirdness through quirky storytelling and laughter, lighting you up in your life journey. Let's go! This episode, I want to talk about, this is going to be pretty funny because I'm going to share some funny experiences with men. Okay, so let's give you some backstory. So I've been single now for 4.5 years, which is crazy when I think about it, but that's okay. I've been on my journey and dating apps, I'm sorry, but it's just not my jam. I try and then I don't even usually last 12 hours and I've deleted my profile and I'm like, I don't have time for this. I don't want to spend my time doing that is the thing, because it's just like, let's think about dating apps. You set up your profile, like whatever, fine, pick some pictures, write down what you're looking for. Half the time, I don't think men even look at the description. I think they just look at your pictures, which honestly, that's what I'm doing too. That's your first step. So your first step, you're swiping, looking for someone who you're physically attracted to. Because yes, I do believe there needs to be a physical attraction, because in the past, I have dated people who I was not attracted to at first, and because I was like, okay, let's give them a chance. And friends were like, you've got to give people, maybe they aren't necessarily exactly what you're looking for physically, but you need to give you need to give some people a chance. So there are people, I've never dated someone who I find unattractive, but I've dated people who I don't find absolutely attractive. We'll put it that way. And so I've done that and fallen in love with like their personality and their heart and who they are. I've done that. Still didn't pan out because here I am, still single. Anyways, so my theory is that settling in any department is settling. And so you have to be attracted to a partner. You have to be. And also I think about, even if you are, so say you're with someone who's like amazingly attractive and then they turn out to be a complete ass face. Well, then they become less attractive. So I'm thinking, if you are with someone who's unattractive or who's not as attractive as could be, and then they turn into a jerk as well, well, then you're going to just drop them that much quicker because you're like, well, you're even uglier. So, okay, I don't know, my reasoning, I don't know. I may lose some listeners after this one. Anyways, okay. So the whole dating app process, swipe. Okay, you find someone who's good looking. Then you read their description and you're like, oh, awesome. Or you're like, oh, great, you smoke weed every day. Or whatever other alarm bells come up, right? So then it's like, okay, nope, swipe that one out. Or, oh, hey, you know what? This is a possibility. So then you swipe the other way. So now your yes is in the realm of if they find you attractive and their check boxes work with your description. So, okay, you're messing with two different energies here. And yeah, so your chances of matching, and this is on the premise that this person is actually serious about dating and isn't just on there to get laid. So maybe they don't even look at your description. Maybe they're just swiping. And then I've also heard, friends have told me that guys will just go on there and swipe right on everyone and see what they match with. And I'm like, what? That's not even putting any thought. So anyways, so this process, so then, okay, let's say in the random event that you match with someone. Okay, so now it's a match. Okay, now you start the conversation. I don't even care. I don't play these games of who's going to message who first. I don't give a shit. I always send a message. Oh, I don't know if I can swear. I just send a message. I'm like, hey, how's it going? How are you finding this app or whatever? I would just say that. Okay, so now you're into a next level. Are they actually going to respond? A. B, have they given up on the app and they don't even log in anymore to check their messages? So are they even going to see the message? See, are they going to look at it and go, oh, okay, no, I relook again. I don't think you're attractive. I'm just not even going to message. I'm going to unmatch you. Or are they like, oh, hey, okay, cool. And then they engage in conversation. So think of all the time and energy and research that has gone into getting just to this point. You haven't even had a conversation yet. So then next step is they respond, and then you start chit-chatting, and okay, so then is it flowing? Is it easy? Is it working? Do you have things in common? There's so many factors that now need to be in consideration. Are there red flags? How is their response time? Are they serious, or are they just looking to, like, it is such a shit show. And then, oh my gosh. So then in the event that you're like, okay, cool, this person sounds really great, and then you keep chatting back and forth, well, then the question is, okay, when are you going to meet? And taking into consideration, where do they live? Is it far? Is it, like all of the things? Do they have kids? Are they divorced? Like, what are their, again, looking for red flags, but trying to stay open, right? So anyways, this whole process. So then we move to the next process where it's like, okay, you're going to have a phone call or a video chat, or you're just going to straight up meet with them for a hot chocolate, a coffee, drink, whatever. So you meet up with them. Now, there's another risk. They don't look like their picture because either they're older or they're fatter, or they have a beard now, or they don't have it. Like, whatever it is, the risk is that what you see in those photos does not match their real life avatar, we'll say. And so that's your next step. Then there's the whole, okay, are your in-person vibes as good as your texting or talking on the phone vibes? Because sometimes that happens, right? You're like just jiving, you really, and then you meet them and you're like, no, no. Or they have like really bad teeth because all of their pictures, they were smiling with their mouth closed and you didn't know. And if you have a teeth thing like I do, that's a red flag. You're like, dude, if you have gross teeth, like, I don't know. Anyways, again, I probably just lost some more people. No, I don't care. These are this is just the truth. This is what I think about. It's dental care. Anyways, so then you meet them, and then, okay, so say in the event it goes really well and you guys are like hitting it off and conversation is flowing. Well, then you're now on to the weird zone of, is there going to be another date? And, or are they going to like give you a hug goodnight? Are they going to try to kiss you goodnight? Are you like all of those factors? And I'm saying you're there in this, hanging out with these people, and like, I think, okay, I'm going to tell this story. This is such a funny story because I honestly haven't gone on many dates in the last 4.5 years for this reason, because dating apps, so I also live in this very small town in southern Ontario. I moved away from the Greater Toronto area where there were a lot more people my age, and there's a different demographic here. And I don't think that the singles market for my age bracket is a very big one at all. Not even my age bracket, all age brackets. Like, it's just not, it's almost like a retirement community, but not fully. Like, there are some young families and stuff, like, but I feel like they're all married. So anyways, okay. So I'll tell you this funny story. So this is relating to my whole vibing out, like if the person is there for sincere purposes or if they just want to, like, get laid or whatever, get some action. I have no idea what the lingo is. So this was like a few years ago, and I remember I had matched with someone and he was pretty cute. Like, I don't know where he was from. Like, I think he was about about maybe 45 minutes from here towards like west of here. So we had matched, and he was really nice, like outgoing personality, awesome. I was like, okay, cool, yeah. And I happened to have time. I'm like, sure, I can go meet up for a walk. Why don't we meet at, there's like this really nice long beach close to me that you can walk on. And it was still, I think it was still like, it wasn't winter, but it was chilly. Anyways, so we meet up there, and I hadn't been talking to him for very long. I think it was only a couple of days, but I was thinking, why not? Like, I would rather less of this chit chat back and forth and just meet people. So, anyways, I meet him there, and he's literally wearing like snowmobile boots or something, which he's still super cute, but he's all bundled up. Yes, it was cold. So, we're walking on the beach, right? There's nobody there. We're not like, we're walking. So we're not really facing each other. We're just walking along and chit chatting and yeah, like getting to know each other. It kind of felt like I wasn't like, oh yeah, this is awesome. It just felt like, man, I'm not going to like have an extensive time with this person. I'm just going to like chit chat, get to know them, finish this walk and head out. So we're walking and talking. And then so we get to a point and I'm like, oh God, okay, like I need to go. So I'm like, okay, why don't we turn around and head back now? Like we've walked far enough type thing. So he's like, okay. So as we're turning around to walk back, he literally grabs me and kisses me. And I'm like, what the fudge? And I'm like, what vibes? There were none that I was giving out that made you think I wanted that to happen. So I'm kind of like, oh, okay. And this I probably would have been out of a relationship for, it was either 6 months or a year and a half. I don't remember. One of those two. So I hadn't even been kissed in a while. I was like, oh, okay. So I was so taken aback. It was hilarious. And I think I actually was like, oh, okay. And, surprised. So anyways, I'm like, oh, okay, that just happened. And I'm like, all right, more reason now to get the hell out of here because it wasn't that good. And I wasn't fully attracted to him. And that didn't help at all because I was like, yeah, I guess he was feeling it, but I wasn't. So anyways, so we walk back and still chit chatting. And I'm just kind of like trying to keep it light. And I'm thinking, oh God, don't try to hold my hand or something because I might knock you out. Anyway, so we get back and I'm like, okay, well, that was, great meeting you. We'll chat soon. And anyway, so then he like comes in for another one. And I'm like, what? Okay. So anyways, very affectionate person. And like I said, he wasn't a complete jerk. Like he was just whatever. I guess he was just into me. I wasn't into him. So anyways, I'm like, okay, well, and so he was like, well, do you want to come to my place? And I'm like, pardon? And I'm like, no, I've got to go home and like get dinner ready. I think the boys, whatever, like I need to go do that. He was like, oh, okay, well, shoot me a message later if you want to get together after dinner. And I'm like, what? Because like I said, he lives like 45 minutes away. And again, I'm not even into him. So I'm like, oh, okay, sure. Meanwhile, I'm like, just get me the frig out of here. So I'm driving and I leave. And then I get a message like later. And he's like, oh, do you want to come over? And I'm like, no, I don't think I do. And he's like, well, why? And he's like, I'll make it worth your while. And then all of a sudden turned into this like just vulgar texts. And I just blocked him. I was like, oh my gosh. And I'm thinking, okay, is that what we have to deal with? Like, I know not all men are like that. And I know that whatever, it's not all like that, but that was my experience. And I feel like that's a common one. I have heard horror stories from friends of mine with people they've met off of the apps. So anyways, so I'm going to talk about, this is going to be funny because I don't know that this person would listen to this podcast, but whatever, if he does, he does. So I don't even know if I should say the activity to try to keep, I don't know. Anyways, I do a regular group fitness thing and this person attends that. And yeah, he's like the only male usually. And I honestly thought he was gay, which is so funny. just because he's very exuberant in how he does Zumba, and not in a sexy Latino way. Anyways, so he and I started chatting, and like one time after Zumba, oh my gosh, like probably a year ago. And yeah, like super nice, whatever, not my type, not attracted to him at all. And yeah, so again, just friends and all of that. Well, I guess he thought it would be nice to be more than friends, but I was upfront. Like when he asked for my phone number, I straight up said, if you're asking for my phone number with the intention of dating or anything like that, then I'm not going to give it to you because I'm not looking for that. I'm not with him. Yeah, so I'm not looking for that, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, and he's like, no, just friends, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, we whatever, chit chat back and forth, fine and dandy, no biggie, whatever. Well, it kind of gets like to so that it's a little more regular than I want, and I'm kind of like, ugh, trying to like not respond quickly, which isn't in my nature. I'm a very high communicator, and I like, if people send me a message, I like to respond, and because it feels almost like part of a checklist in my mind. So I like to respond, have that off my list, and know there's nothing outstanding that I need to do. Part of the reason why I went off of Facebook, because I always felt like I had to respond to people's comments and stuff. And I didn't want to spend that much time on Facebook. So I got rid of Facebook. Anyways, Instagram's a little bit different. It's not as busy as that. So anyways, basically we chit-chatted, got to know each other. I agreed to go out with him because in this time I'm thinking to myself, you know what, like broaden your horizons. Like just go out. You can go out with a guy. Like you haven't actually been out with a man and in years, other than that weird dude that was like kissed me, and then a friend who I had met, whatever. Actually, I have a couple of friends, but I haven't been out with that in someone who would be interested in me, to have that, feel out that vibe. And I'm like, you know what? Don't block people out. I'm trying to be open. I'm trying to be open. So anyways, I go out and yeah, no, I felt like, yeah, I felt like he was kind of getting into me a little bit. And so I was like, yeah, I got to just stop this. And so when I did, he basically like accused me of lying and just weird stuff. And I was like, dude, do you even know me? Like, I'm not a person who lies. Of all people, like to accuse me. And he was very jealous. I wasn't even dating him. And I had gone out with another friend of mine who was a guy. And it was the day after that I was like, okay, you know what? Like, I can't, I'm a mom and I'm running a business, and there's just too much messaging, and I feel like you are starting to catch feelings, and I just don't want you to be led on. So I need you to, like, we need to just back this off. Hoping to just be like, cool, we're still friends, whatever. So he kept bombarding me with these messages and just accusing me, well, you're lying and I'm like, what? And I think it's okay. You can tell me that you're dating that guy and you like him. And I'm like, what is he on? And I'm like, actually, I don't need to justify anything to you. And if I wanted to date that guy, we would have dated years ago because we've been friends for years. Like, what? It just went a little bit loopy. So that was like a year. No, maybe that was in the summer. So that was probably like 6 months ago. Anyways, so it was awkward for a bit. I skipped that class for a little bit so that I just didn't have to deal with him and let kind of that, what's the word? Let the something settle. Anyways, I can't remember that phrase. And so when I went back, it was fine. I was just like, oh, hey, how's it going? And I just didn't even, whatever. So it took a couple of months. And then he's basically, one time I think it was a few months. So anyways, this is now up to like current time. And so he made reference. He was like, oh yeah, well, you blocked me. So, and I was like, no, I don't think I did. I think I just stopped responding. And he was like, no, I think you did. I'm like, oh, cool. Like, whatever, dude. Obviously, if I blocked you for a reason. But So we all went to this big group event, and then we were sending photos, exchanging. So I thought, okay, well, I'll unblock because he seems to be like calmer now, and maybe he's not going to be ridiculous. So I did. And then the texting started again. And I'm like, hey, that's fine. Because again, like he knows where I stand. This is friends only. And then maybe this was my mistake because I agreed to go dancing. I love dancing. And I agreed to go. And I was like, yep, strictly on a friend basis, all that. So we go dancing. And then, yeah, it was just weird. There were alarm bells because, like, we're there as friends. And, if like a woman spoke to him because they're friends or whatever, he like came right over to me and he's like, oh yeah, she's just my friend from, and I'm like, dude, I'm thinking you don't need to justify anything to me. Like, I'm just your friend. So like, just stop. Anyways, but it just got weird. And so anyways, we had carpooled together and he was like, I can pick you up. I'm like, no, I'll meet you up at this wherever, Tim Hortons. So when we left, and it was fine. It was a great night. Like, it was okay. I mean, it was fine. It would have been more fun with just girls, I think, my friends. But I just had weird vibes with him, but meh. Anyway, so we get out of the car and he's like, okay, well, give me a hug goodbye. And I'm like, oh, I'm like covered in sweat. Polite way of saying no fucking way. And he was like, oh, it's okay. So I give him a hug, like a quick hug. And then he hangs on. And I'm like, oh, okay. So anyways, I'm like, oh boy. So I'm like, okay, have a good night. I like quickly turned because I was getting those kiss vibes. And I'm thinking, oh gosh, like I am not kissing. No, I am not. And so I hop in the car and, whatever. Later, I'm like, thanks so much. Thanks for driving, blah, blah, blah. And like, he's a super nice guy, like all sorts of things. But I don't know if there's something that's like, I don't know, that's not fully firing properly there, because I felt the need to clarify because it had now turned into like messaging before bed and messaging first thing in the morning and have a great day and oh, I hope you had a great night. And I'm like, oh boy. So, and I felt like after that hug, I know, like I'm intuitive, I can feel vibes. And I was like, oh fuck, he's back into the zone of hoping but he's also very like flirtatious with everybody. It's like he's very desperately seeking a partner. And if you show him a bit of kindness or just whatever manners, he thinks that's like a green light to pursue you. I have no idea. But anyway, so I felt those vibes. And so I sent a message and just basically said, hey, like, I had a great time, but I just want to be clear that I am not in any way, interested in dating or whatever. I can't remember how I put it. I put it very diplomatically, though. It was nice. It was super polite and just my boundaries. And his response was basically, well, if you have a boyfriend, you can just say that. And I was like, if I had a boyfriend, I wouldn't be going out one-on-one with a guy dancing. I would be with my boyfriend. Like, who would anyways. And then, yeah, so I said that. And then I can't remember what else he said. But anyways, it's just this weird, it's like if he had just said, oh, you know what? I thank you. Like, I totally appreciate where you stand. Thank you for clarifying. And that's amazing. Because, I am looking for a partner and I would have loved for it to be you. But if you aren't interested, yeah, absolutely. Like, friend zone, heard you loud and clear, all good. And that would have been it. No, he kept messaging, like basically, I don't even know what the word is, like deflecting and projecting things onto me. And I'm thinking, okay, buddy, like I'm not dating you. Anyways, so then I kind of like we left it and I was like, okay, I think he understands. Like, I think he's going to just totally FO because he knows I've blocked him before. I will block you again, buddy. And so, yeah, no, then that and later on, like that night, he sends me this message, like nothing's, changed. And oh, I hope you have a great sleep and sweet dreams and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what? So I'm like, I'm not even responding, hoping. So the next morning, oh, good morning, Tamiah. I hope you blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what is this dude doing? And then I can't remember, he sent something else. And I was like, that is it. Block. So I blocked him again. So all of this to say that if you, I don't, it's not just the dating apps. You have to be so discerning with who you are letting into your energetic space. Friends, potential partners, like clients, everyone. I just think it is such a weird place right now in this world. And I don't know, like people like that, it's very concerning, because as an individual who's deeply into personal growth and always kind of evaluating, okay, where can I open more? Where do I need to look at my boundaries? Where, what can I learn from past relationships? Am I ready for another relationship? What type of man would I want to be with? And I'm always very aware, and I do the work, and I look within, and I really am conscious of all of that. And the evidence that I get is just very odd. Oh, I forgot about, there was another one I forgot about. That's another podcast, because that was a mystery and a half. Anyways, okay, I'm going to wrap this one up. I don't even know what made me go down that rabbit hole, but there's a glimpse of my life and why I remain single. It's so funny. All right, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you at the next one. Peace out. Thanks for hanging out and listening to my wild and wacky Tam Talks. Follow Tam Talks to be notified of new episodes. Peace out.